Venn diagrams. Venn diagrams are the graphical tools or pictures that we use to visualize and understand relationships between sets. Venn diagrams are named after the mathematician John Venn, who first popularized their use in the 1880s. The entire set of data under consideration is known as the universal set. Example, set relationships number 1. Identify the relationship between the sets in the following Venn diagram. Write it in words and symbolically. So this figure includes a large rectangle that is labeled U equals dogs, and there is a circle representing a set inside of that rectangle that's labeled T equals terriers. So the way we would write this symbolically would be that T is a subset of U. Terriers, that set, is a subset of dogs. So we would say something like all terriers are dogs. That's what we're seeing in this picture. All terriers are dogs. Now there are different relationships that we can run across with Venn diagrams. We'll see one of these in a moment. Disjoint or mutually exclusive sets. So two sets, A and B, are disjoint sets or mutually exclusive if they do not share any elements in common. That is, if A is a member of set A, then A is not a member of set B. If B is a member of set B, then B is not a member of set A. So there are elements that are not contained, that are contained in each but not both. Or in fact, every member, in the way this is phrased, every member is separate. There are no elements in common, is what we're seeing. So example, set relationships number 2. Describe the relationship between the sets in the following Venn diagram. So this figure, it has a rectangle labeled U equals 2D figures, and it contains two circles that do not overlap. The first circle on the left is labeled T equals triangles, and the circle on the right is labeled S equals squares. So describe the relationship between the sets. So we could write a few things actually. We could say that T is a subset of U. We could say that S is a subset of U. But then we could also say that T and S do not overlap. Now we don't have a good way to say that in symbols, so I'm going to write this way. So T and S are disjoint. That's using our vocabulary. So that's the relationship between the sets. Now let's actually describe what these things are. This means that triangles and squares are 2D figures. That's what's meant by them being contained in the rectangle, right? Triangles and squares are 2D figures, but no triangles are squares, and no squares are triangles. Okay. So that's putting into words what we've said symbolically there.